He was 65 years old now and finally at the age to enjoy the fruit of his lifelong labors. Darlene and Gregory never had children, but Big Ralph and Mallory were their kids. They loved them both and loved sipping whiskey sours while laying out on the deck or in the yard with their fur feather babies. Darlene and Gregory rarely left their home. They went to Costco once in March in preparations for the quarantine lockdown. They had plenty of supplies for many weeks. It was coming on to June, and it was time to get more groceries, toiletries, etc. Darlene and Gregory went everywhere together. Bundled up in their masks and gloves, the couple made the treacherous journey to the groceries and back. Immediately upon their return, they stripped their shopping clothes off and showered in turn, but not before removing their shoes. When they were done, they began the arduous routine of wiping down all the items in the grocery. Darlene pulled a loaf of bread from the cupboard. "I bet Mallory is going to love her treat today," she remarked happily. Big Ralph was barking his head off. They heard him as soon as they arrived home. Darlene headed for the basement stairs. Gregory heard the sliding doors that led to the yard open in the basement. Big Ralph pounded outside and headed for the yard. He heard his wife's soft footsteps petering after the big lab. A moment later, Gregory could hear his wife's shrill screams. He yanked open the hall closet door and grabbed his hunting rifle. When Gregory reached his wife, the scene was horrific. Beautiful black and yellow feathers dusted the yard around her den. The wire around her coop was bent like melted butter. Darlene gasped as her gaze looked upon the woods beyond their fence, which was also bent. "Look!" she whispered loudly. They heard thunderous pounding as the ground shook from the bear's weight. The bear wasn't down, he was running. Gregory had heard that bears could be fast, but he never imagined how fast. The bear was out of sight. "Did you get him?" Darlene gasped, running up to her husband. Gregory shook his head slowly. "I think it hit the ground," he replied haltingly. "I don't know. I hope you got him," Darlene cried out again, her emotions taking control of her. "Poor Mallory."